That's illegal. I'm sorry. Firstly, gerrymandering needs to be illegal.
In Australia, redistricting is done by an independent commission, not done by the politicians who won those districts. So it is a lot fairer.
Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to be watching and reacting to what do US elections look like abroad. I did one of the same with some of the same people about the US healthcare system and getting, an outsider view and a broad view of it, and it was very revealing and enlightening, which I learned so much from. It was very eye-opening and showed how massively different the US is from most of the world. So I'd like to do the same thing but with US elections and see how my mind changes to it, anything I could give as an American kind of on top of this, the things that they're talking about that I know and don't know. And I want to know how your systems do it, how your countries do it, and if it's good, bad, what you think of the US and everything of the sort. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it just rigged? Is it fantastic? I want to know, and then compare to your countries. So moving on from the healthcare, let's go on to US elections. Let's do this.
All right, let's have a look here.
New Mexico's 49th in employment and 50th for schools. We gotta bust through some walls to make changes. To rebuild our infrastructure.
Goodness.
And here's what I think of Trump's wall.
So awkward.
Please play me more.
What? Are you kidding me?
I did not know that. Is that true? I guess it is.
It is chaotic, it's crazy.
It's like you want to stop people from voting.
It's stupid.
I'm done.
I'm excited. Here we go. Let's see how different it is.
That looks like an ink blot test.
This looks like a toilet to me.
It looks like a Jackson Pollock.
That's straight up Jackson Pollock.
How do you pronounce that?
I don't even know what that is.
Gerrymandering?
Gerrymandering, the art of drawing districts to put as many of your voters together, or, more often, to make sure the other party's voters are broken up and scattered.
Well, now, when you tell me what gerrymandering is, then this sounds like cheating.
It's like a game. It's weird. I don't know much about it at all. Didn't really know about it in general. I've heard of the term before.
That's illegal. I'm sorry. Firstly, gerrymandering needs to be illegal.
In Australia, redistricting is done by an independent commission, not done by the politicians who won those districts. So it is a lot fairer.
If you haven't registered to vote, time is running out.
With registration deadlines as far as 30 days before the election.
What is voter registration? I mean, I know what it is, but I understand why do you have this kind of thing.
In Germany, you don't need to register yourself for the vote.
In Estonia, voter registration is automatic.
I actually had somebody who was an election officer come over to my house and help me out with my process of voter registration. And mind you, this is in a country of 1.3 billion people.
Voter purging is the process by which election officials remove names from the voter rolls.
Yeah, I hear that all the time, going through, especially college, and there's always booths like register to vote. Are you registered to vote? It's a huge push to register to vote. You still see that around election time. You see it register to vote here, there, all these signs up to register. So yeah, it is kind of funky, if you're a citizen of a country of the legal age, why can't you just vote? I don't know.
Come on. No one thinks of the word purge and thinks of anything positive. We have seen the purge films.
Georgia likely removed nearly 200,000 from voter rolls wrongfully. How?
I can't imagine for this to happen in Germany.
Nope, you don't get to vote. Nope, you don't get to vote either. Nope.
voting in America is on a Tuesday. Many people don't vote because they are either too busy or have conflicting work or school schedules.
To me, it sounds like 19th century, to be honest.
What I really appreciate about Germany is it's so easy for you to go and vote. It's on a Sunday, it's on a free day.
In India, it's actually illegal to keep your employee from voting.
So in Australia, we have this thing called a democracy sausage. Take a selfie with your democracy sausage. You haven't voted in Australia unless you've gotten your democracy sausage.
That's hilarious. I like that. I know there's been some push here for Tuesday, for whatever reason, whatever it's on a Tuesday, to be just a holiday, just a day off. I believe you can just take it off and just say, hey, I'm going to be out for, I'm going to vote today, and businesses can't really do anything about it because that's, your legal right. But it's America, and we're obsessed with work, and it'll look bad on you, and, all sorts of things. So it's just, it's funky here.
In the last Estonian parliamentary elections, I think I cast my vote during breakfast. I have this identity card. I insert it into a computer reader, pick my candidate, and cast my vote.
How long did it take you to vote in your country's last election? It took me 2 minutes.
Approximately a minute.
5 minutes.
5 to 7 minutes.
5 to 10.
10 minutes.
7 hours, 45 minutes, and 13 seconds. It took for me.
Wait. It took him the amount of time it will take for me to fly from the UK, from London to New York.
This feels like the opposite of easy to vote.
This is not acceptable. It's just not acceptable in a democratic country, I think.
I know you kind of... I walked down to the local park. It used to be at my local elementary school. You just walk down, and often there's a line, especially after work, since it's on a Tuesday, which I don't know why it is. It should be on the weekend or a holiday. But my experience so far, I'm still young, have only voted in a few elections so far, but I would just go down to my local park, and there's pretty much no line. The last two, I pretty much walked right in, and the whole process takes under 10 minutes, and the park is maybe 3 or 4 minutes away from me. But I did have the luxury of working from home, so I could go whenever. I think I went like in the afternoon sometime, and it was very good there. I have heard of, and I'm not in a huge city either. I'm not in, LA. I'm close to it, but I'm not in LA or anything like that. So I've heard lines, like huge lines to vote. Perhaps my city does it well, better than most of the US. I don't know what the whole, waiting 8 hours for. I know there has been things where you kind of like put a little slot like, oh, I want to vote. And it says like, oh, you find a slot you could go down and vote, and that's like your time to go. There's a few ways of doing it here in Southern California. It seems to be fine, but that's just my experience on it. And maybe I'm just lucky to live in an area where it seems very easy. And now you could drop off or even email. You could send through the mail, U.S. Postal Service, your vote. Perhaps this is an older video, but I know we have done that in the past. We could just send it whenever you want before a certain date in the mail, and it will get cast, or so you hope, if you're not scratched out of the list.
What percentage of the voting age population was registered to vote in the US in 2016? I'll say 80%, just because they haven't been doing too well recently with everything else.
That's high, I think. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
64%.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's almost half of the Americans have no voice.
It's like you want to stop people from voting.
Why is that so?
Somebody please help us. We are at our polling place in Atlanta, Fickett Elementary School. The systems are down.
Oh, look, there's no line. There's no line at all out here in what suburban white country?
That's for real? That's the reason?
Oh.
That is the definition of racism.
It's the same in South Africa.
If you want to go into a wealthy white community, everything is easy. If you want to go to the township, I don't even know if you're going to get to vote.
Moms and dads took their kids, to vote with them during the civil rights era. That's how I get to do that now. How I get to take my family with me, and I can go vote with my family for the first time, and that means a lot to me.
I think this is a sign of the resilience that I think is what will protect democracy, if nothing else.
But that American spirit, you have to love it. People are still going out there and standing in the queues and standing in the rain.
As weird as it sounds, the only way to overcome this is to vote.
Fight to vote and then change the system by voting.
I will never give up on America. If people keep the same spirit, keep the same energy, then undoubtedly a change gonna come.
So I looked up on the U.S. Census just to talk about that last point. I'm not familiar with it. I'm from a fairly, I always thought fairly diverse area, but definitely not a lot of. So here we go. White alone percent, 71%. I believe this is including Hispanic. So looking at Hispanic or Latino percent is 34. Yeah, white alone, not Hispanic, 39. Almost 40. Asian 21. And then here you have African American of 2.1%. So I really can't speak to that because it's such a tiny population here. I know in my high school we had my high school for the 4 years had about 3,000, just shy of 3,000 students. And there's a handful that were African American in the entire school. It's a very low population. So I can't really have an honest chat about that one because I haven't really experienced it. It'll just kind of be what I've heard or what I've seen. And I believe in the college that I went to, the university, it was something around 40% Hispanic, 25% white, 25% Asian, and then the rest of it was just, mixed African American, just kind of everything else. So in that way it's diverse, but it's not diverse with, every group. And all of the other random stats of my county. Interesting. I'll have to look at this after. This is a great place to stop it. So I want to hear your thoughts on this, but some things are definitely a little, strange to me, especially after seeing this video. I grew up knowing this is, how elections work. This is how to do it. This is how we've always done it. And then hearing the responses from all around the world is definitely eye-opening, like the healthcare one, just something where you have to step back and think about it. Wow, maybe things should change a little bit, how other countries do it. Look abroad to find better ways to do these things, or more efficient ways, or anything like that to improve the election process for the citizens. I want to hear from you about this, of what you heard here. I always appreciate the stories that you give and kind of just joining in discussion. So thanks for watching, and until next time, enjoy your voting processes, and have a good rest of your day.